times, you're going 9-3 over those 3 rounds. And that looks great, but ultimately, maybe you're baiting, maybe you're lurking, maybe you're not playing your role correctly. There's a lot of variables in it, but you can just look and say, okay, well, they went 9-3. They must have been so good. When in all reality, the person who went 2-3, but won rounds with those 2 1v1s, infinitely more valuable. That's when we talk about exit kills. That's when we talk about impactless kills, because not all kills are equal. Anyway, Nick, border, operator bans rolling in, and we've already got some familiar faces being removed from play.
Yeah, we have, but a bit of a change up here, because this time around it is going to be Direwolves banning out the Asami, which leaves Solus open. MNM, they opt for the Mossy ban, which is specific to Direwolves themselves, I believe, because Mossy is not a staple border ban by any means, and quite frankly, Mossy doesn't really get banned at all throughout any
God, I can't remember the last time I saw...
okay, there was a Mossy meta way back when he had the secondary shotgun or bulletproof weapon.
May I finish?
Oh, you go.
May I finish?
Yeah, you go. Sorry.
I cannot remember the last time I casted a match, or even we casted a match, where Mossy was banned.
No, it's that long ago. It is.
See?
Yeah. 2 different ways to look at it. A lot of nerves happened to this operator, because when he first came out, he was rather strong. Played very commonly, paired with Mute. Where nowadays you see a lot of Mute without the Mossy instead. Doc, an operator that was played a bunch way back in year 1 of the game's meta. Didn't see that much play in the last 2 years or so, but then with that buff where the Doc stims heal you to full, even from an injured state, essentially, has now brought some life back into this particular operator. The Bailiff, secondary shotgun, of course, can help you make rotations in the prep phase. That goes a long way. And a bulletproof camera as well. Quite the versatile operator indeed. Let's not forget the 1.5x scope that ranked players and some gunners in pro play loves to bring. Any excuse to play that kind of scope and you'll take it.
I think these first couple rounds here for Direwolves will be crucial. MNM opting to go onto defense first. Direwolves pick this map, so MNM picks the side. We're still only a day in and only 8 matches technically into this event. I'm curious to see what the stats for Border will be after today. Does it skew defender-sided? Does it skew attacker-sided? The cafe that we just saw was outstandingly defender-sided.
Oh yeah.
But then the theme park that we saw last night that you and I casted between DZ and Heroic was incredibly attacker-sided. So sometimes things change. Utility being used from Direwolves now as we're past the 1-minute mark. Top of East is the main focus. Nafe under fire. Scoots back down to the bomb site. Be very careful, because teams can take East and then lobby very quickly, and if you're not watching for that entry and you're not establishing crossfires, you can lose control of that part of the map very quickly. Oh my. Uzis gets pounced upon. Nice coordination by Direwolves to get the lead-off pick in this map, the lead-off pick in this round.
Not just that, but also MNM, there's no one anywhere remotely close to Uzis' position, so he's completely isolated. It's a good punishment from them. Yellow pings come out, information's on the board for Direwolves, and so it's up. The timing, he misses a free kill.
Oh, Pecan softening up Solotov as he gets away, almost to the point where he would die from running through a wall. Or if he'd already run through a wall, might have been enough for him to perish. First member of DW in the ground, it's Pecan. Dave heads back to the bomb site. A man on a mission. Solotov will get some calls from the pulse of Nello. Right now inside of security, or just below security rather, watching it.
He could flank this if they see this last member 90 walking away. Can retake top floor with the Oryx. It's that rare scenario, it might just pay off.
Oh, and there we go. A jump up. Solotov will look to exploit whatever anti-flank that does not exist from Direwolves. But there's a collision course. No. He looks away at the last second. They pass each other like 2 ships in the night. Solotov downing the sledge, but not able to secure. Direwolves get them in the clutch. Nitro Cell goes off. It's good enough for a single kill onto Jackie Wu. That was the downed player from Direwolves. Nick, this prolonged action. Harambe's got Diffuser, safely planting it. And DW looking far more confident already than they did on Cafe on any of their attacks. Nafe is the last man standing, and if he goes for the drop, they'll hear it. Can he stop Harambe at the last second? No, he can't. Souffle up top. That's the insurance policy. And while you've got one planting the diffuser, you've got another watching. Gonna have that third be wherever they want. Direwolves starting off border with a round victory, and it will not be 8 rounds in a row for MNM.
It was an extremely cursed round in terms of timing. I mean, the Solotov had 2 instances himself. Souffle and Lion had 2 instances as well, where like the moment they look away, someone like leaves the crosshair, like just at the edge of their scope, they don't see the opponent, etc. And then at the very end, with 8 seconds left, I mean they're chasing the planter. DW, they change the plant position. Souffle catches on top floor from 90 to the long hallway towards east stairs and gets that final kill. And with that round not working out for MNM, they're gonna change their bomb site preference rotation around. Starting in tellers is not super typical. Armory is second on the menu instead. Operator lineup is very similar. There are some differences though. We do have the Warden to combat any smokes or flashbangs. We do have Tyrant actually giving his run at the Solace Operator. If you watched the game yesterday from MNM, it was Solotov who played Solace exclusively on Clubhouse against Wolves.
I did watch that game.
Oh, I think you... Oh, you cast it too actually. It was a very great game.
But it did?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because I was there. That means you were there.
Oh.
Yeah. That's, I always know where you are if I'm somewhere because we just happen to be there together every single time.
That's very coincidental, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Sometimes that's how it goes.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
Very, very funny.
Speaking of people who aren't where they're supposed to be, I hope you feel better, Hap, because Hap, he has fallen ill, I believe, today. He made a tweet. So, Emmy and I think Demo are working together today instead.
Now that is a throwback.
Yeah, it is a throwback, yeah.
See, for those that aren't aware, Hap and I have a public relationship where we hate each other's guts.
Okay.
It's actually very one-sided. I jokingly hate Hap, and I always make fun of him all the time. So what I'm about to say is very rare.
I'm reloading.
I hope you feel better, Hap.
Clip it, save it, ship it, and use it against Parker in every single instance you can have because that is not what you're going to hear many times in the future.
Just honestly a really nice guy, but I will say that Fluke and Demo used to be a duo way, way back in the day, and I always thought it was very enjoyable to listen to, so it'll be good to have that little throwback in front of us. There was actually a period of time where you had food poisoning that I almost ended up casting with Jesse on the first day because we didn't know if you were going to be good to go either.
Oh, that is true. And as good colleagues as we are, we just make it work. We pair people together that might have the magic or might find the magic together, and sometimes it's a throwback, sometimes it's the new people you cast with.
I mean, I casted a grand final in Mexico through food poisoning.
Oh,
so
yeah. Oh, boy.
I might have had blue cover for me a couple times, but that's it. Either way, not a lot of action that's here. You might be wondering. F.
F indeed.
Not sure how Pecan blew himself up with that one, whether it was just a misplay or not, but look at Yuzis coming to his teammate's rescue. Harambe is there for added measure. Solotov in on the fun as well. Direwolves with a single kill. The pre-fire from Harambe, but there's 2 separate sets of bullet tracers to go in. Now Jackie Wu, last man standing. He knows where his targets are, or at least where 2 of the targets are. The other 2 seem to escape him for now. Nice pick on the Solotov. Doesn't understand that the rotate is coming back into break room. No, swing and a miss, quite literally. Jackie Wu fails to take out the wall.
Oh, he just looked. Oh, I was going to say, he just camera.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in. 20 seconds left. Jackie Wu looking for the last 3 players on MNM. He'll find them, just won't be able to kill them. He doesn't actually see Nafe at all. Does MNM answer back? We tie the game.
Nave joining MNM has actually been a very good look for them, especially in terms of their map pool. It's something that the analysts, in our green room with talents been talking about, where Nave came from Na'Vi, who had a different map pool than that of MNM. And when you come from one team to another, you have this thing that's called, Control-C, Control-V when it comes to map strats and whatnot. And it can really help elevate teams' like their map pool, essentially, like how many maps they can play and in how many different ways they can play them. It's always interesting to see because MNM typically don't play Border, for example. They don't play Bank. with Nave on this roster, well, they're playing border right now, and I would not bet money on this because that shouldn't be the case, but I'm pretty certain they could also play Bank now because Nave has Conference that used to play quite well from Navi. 1-1 so far, nothing's decided. So MNM defense on border, DW on attack, and we've seen Tellers into Armory, now into Ventilation. Now all of these bomb sites on border, they play out rather differently. The one thing they have in common, you always, no matter what bomb site you're playing on, want to have control of the top floor. Obviously, if you're an Armory, that's what the bomb site is. That's a no-brainer. But if you're playing Ventilation, up above, verticality. If you're playing Tellers, go up above, verticality. What MNM are not showing right now, they're not really playing much above. They're playing horizontally so far, playing customs, a kite claws, denying the entry breaches, etc. Extending also to the east side here, into towards bathroom and Teller side. So it's a different kind of take on this classical defense that might actually catch Diabolos off guard.
Scanning for electronic devices.
Information again being brought by MNM. Valcams and a pulse sensor will be on the board. Immediately, Tyrant has found one player, and it happens to be an IQ. This will be a nice game of rock, paper, scissors between the two of them, or I suppose cat and mouse, etc. Souffle, first one to take some damage on Direwolf's Pecan, will vault right into the waiting arms of Solotov, blinded completely, but he has the drop onto the hatch. Played well by MNM. They do surrender that part of the map upstairs in security, but they get a pick for their trouble, and it's the Yana that goes down.
No secondary EMPs or Thatcher from Diabolos means they can't get open up any of these walls because of the kite claws, and even if they get top wall control, they can't really get the hatches either unless they were to get soft destruction like the secondary soft breaches or grenades, which they have none of right now because Pecan fell early to the entry death rather. So, bit of a tough position to be in. Diabolos, it does not look like they were fully prepared for this strategically speaking, because right now they don't have a clear goal in mind, it looks like, nor a clear path. On all this information, DC4s, they could get very deadly from below.
Oh, Nave looked for the Nitro cell, but got baited into it, and Jackie Wu takes him out, missing the Gone 6. A second kill for Jackie Wu as he gets out of dodge with his life still intact. Have his HP down. Now it's Nello to fall next for MNM. Souffle on a single point of HP, and Jackie Wu is a bullet or two away from the grave. It's doable for MNM, but it's tough. Another round that Solotov will use Oryx's ability to jump up through a hatch. And a potential retake is there. He'll get spotted by the Lion before repositioning towards the armory door. Ray taking out Tyrant means it's Solotov in a 1v2. But again, Souffle is on a single point of HP. Ray, fully HP.
And he has Diffuser as well. I mean, he can let them come to him. He can go below. 25 seconds left. Tons of options for Solotov here on the table.
No information for DW. They might have a single drone available, but Solotov is going to have to line them both up. There goes Souffle, but he can't engage on Ray. He thought they'd be coming from different angles, but the call was wrong. Direwolves winning in the early round, and that momentum and that numbers advantage just carried through to the bitter end, giving them their second round. Neither team winning more than one in a row, but DW does regain the lead.
I mean, that entire round essentially is won from DW because of Jackie Wu. He jumped in towards the bomb set window of Ventilation, gets 2 kills, and casually jumps out again. And sure, it comes down to a 1 versus 1, Diffuser dropped upstairs, etc. It's a bit messy, but it looked like it was a completely lost round because strategically MNM had a really good read on what they wanted to do. DW did not. Sometimes a hero play can send you right back into a winnable position, and that was all thanks to Jackie Wu in that round on Buck. It's always, since the introduction to the secondary, the Gone 6, the sidearm essentially, it's always awkward that somebody gets an injure, a down but an out, and you go for a secondary pistol swap, and it's a Gone 6, you either miss or you get the... It's like, and it happened with Jackie with that round, where he has the Buck gadget, you can just like use the shells, get the kill finish, but everyone is so used to just go for the pistol sidearm and get the finish, run away. You're fast with a pistol in your hands. But we do see time and time again those Gone 6s being, it's like tossed in the most absurd and weird scenarios possible. And that was one of them.
I know that it's not it, but I always think those castle barricades from above with the like the dog head on it looks like one of the Goyo canisters been put on it. And I remember the very first time I ever saw it, I was like, why is somebody putting a Goyo canister on the castle barricade?
I think.
Oh, it's the castle elite skin.
Ah, there it is. Yeah. I think I saw a Reddit post explain a similar situation. People are like, why is like what is this? And like, oh, it's the elite skin. Yeah, that makes sense.
Got activated. Come on out, Chief.
Can be a little confusing.
Sensor activated.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Bomb site rotation so far for MNM. Teller's bathrooms down below. Armory up top. Vent down below as well. Nice shot from Solotov. He gets away and now uses in on the fun. Two separate players from MNM finding the scoreboard. And Ray and Pecan are as good as gone. Pecan has had some serious struggles. It's staying alive, which is very bad because Pecan is almost always on one of those entry roles. That means Souffle and Jackie have to do even more of the heavy lifting.
He also always plays the only set of grenades as well, so utility-wise, a massive loss to lose him early in the round because he never gets to use them, really.
Jackie Wu will drone himself in at this point. Still 2 drones available for Souffle, so information for Dire Wolves, if they want to use it, is available over the remaining half of this round. But where do you go next?
You gotta clear the top floor as they are right now. Then you get a hatch control, bit of verticality of course, but the timing again, it's crazy.
Oh, use this just on the wrong side of the timing equation. He at least gets the pick onto Harambe. That's the ace down. You don't have to worry about any more hard breach. Jackie knows that there's one down below, but has given his position away still upstairs. They must have known that the Buck was playing in the spot because of all of the noise and carnage that was happening at the hands of that skeleton key. Souffle as Ash drops on down, has diffuser in hands, but Tyrant is prepared for that. Posted up and looking longingly towards the bomb site. Now it's all up to Jackie Wu, and he doesn't go anywhere.
I cannot see the dodges, I can only hold the push.
I don't know how did the guy, I see for the guy as well. The guy's just not there.
Always nice to listen into the player comms at the end of the round. MNM locking down that top floor, and I like how after they had Solotov holding the position that he did, they fell off of Armory Wall, retreated to the other side upstairs. They used the castle barricades to effectively cleave the top half of the map, and then play safely in the back portion, allowing Dire Wolves to take Office, to take Fountain, but East was still held by MNM.
I mean, that's the thing that MNM is doing so well on Border so far, is that they're, and you touched upon it, they're really good at kind of choosing when they want to give something up. Sometimes when they get a kill, they say, okay, we got a kill in this first room, let's play the second room now, fall back one area. And other times, you see Solotov just kind of fall back when he's under too much pressure because the risk versus reward isn't worth it. He's sitting thinking, if I stay, I'm probably just gonna die, and we're playing 4 versus 5. I'm gonna then sacrifice and give up this area of the map, give Dire Wolves time on the clock, but not give them over, or surrender rather, a kill for them. So strategically, MNM, they're showing a very good read on how they want to approach this as a team. That last round, like definitely in that previous round.
I will say the fact that this is back and forth, far better opportunity for Dire Wolves than we have seen presented during the latter half of Cafe.
It's looking a lot better for sure. I do think that, as she's mentioned, Pecan, that's kind of where my eyes are at. So he needs to get something going for him. Or, what you could do for DW, change your operator lineup so that Pecan plays maybe the Twitch instead, the Lion, the Dokkaebi, etc. Get someone else on the entry operator with that set of grenades, because right now, unless Jackie would play Sledge, you don't really have any grenades to spare or to spend, because Pecan is usually just dead with them in his pocket. So small change could go a long way here for them, but so far, keeping things the same.
Yeah, it's a bit curious to me that you keep using somebody who consistently dies in these opening duels, but haven't even considered maybe swapping up these roles. I get it. You have Ray and Harambe come onto the team.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to swap these roles up. You had Reaps, who is on entries, no longer on the squad. That necessitates a change in and of itself.
You are correct. It's not the perfect circumstance to be in. Making the most out of it right now. I do like the second grenade set on Jackie on the sledge here, just to give a little bit more of an opportunity to get those kills. Solotov, the big problem right now inside of CCTV is holding on, because as long as he doesn't get, under too much pressure, he sees no reason to fall away from this position.
He's a little bit too high up, but he reads into it, and down goes Souffle. The Twitch drones have already provided so much value. The smoke just ended up being a smoke screen. Pecan knows where Solotov is playing. Continuing the success that we've seen out of Solotov, 8 kills. We have 16 in the previous map, so 24 in total. Could find yet another. Is he as good of a shot as he thinks he is? He's going to get slow peeked. And Pecan wins the engagement, as do 2 other players from Direwolves. They topple these defenders of MNM, and now the diffuser goes down, but Nafe is there, catching out on the Pecan. Nafe can't go for the drop. He gets jumped on by the sledge. It's all up to Tyrant inside of Office, but he's going to need to look after the sledge on the left. Can't do it. Jackie Wu secures the kill. Yet again, no team can win more than a single round before surrendering it to their opponents. It's a seesaw that sets us up in the 6th and final round of this first half, with Direwolves on top 3-2.
And we speak a lot about how MNM they are strategically playing these rounds extremely well, and what we just saw there was actually the opposite of that, right? Solotov, maybe a little bit overconfident, is kind of toying with the opponents, right? Going for repeaks constantly, applying pressure, etc. Could have fallen back through the 90 rotate. He had a safe escort in his teammate, but he wanted to challenge Ayana, Pecan on that 1 versus 1. And you and I are talking about how Pecan, 1 and 4, not really getting things done, dying early. He stayed alive, used both grenades, won the gun battle against Solotov, and opened up things on that side of the map. And at the same time, it was an archive sandwich window execute for the other members of DW, and they won all 3 gunfights in the span of 2 seconds and got full bomb site control. And then that plant started getting established inside of Armory. So well done to them. The one time MNM does not fall back and sacrifice the map, area of the map that they need, that's when they get punished. 3-2 final defense. Solotov is kind of playing a couple of different operators right now. Doc mostly, non-Valkyrie instead. Tyrant actually playing the Ella. Might help catch any members of Direwolves coming up a staircase, going in a window, in a door, etc. because they are just kind of creeping around in that previous round.
I think this actually is a good position for Direwolves to be in.
Certainly.
Cafe and Border are not the same map, but the unpredictability that we saw by this Direwolves squad. Now, it might be a little bit more challenging on a map like Border. It's not as big of a map, and it's not as vertical of a map, so you can... I honestly believe that MNM can get away with not sufficiently droning out portions of this map the way that you cannot get away with that on Cafe. But I still think Direwolves will have the upper hand if they can translate the play that they did on Cafe. Oh. Hey, nice shot by Pecan. Stunned out, but still beheads Tyrant and grabs another for his trouble on the Solotov. We were critical of his play, but it doesn't really matter. He proves us wrong. 2 kills from MNM in quick succession. It's 3v3.
Oh.
Nello sees him, cannot connect. And he needs to control this Alda as the flashes go out. A drone will now come in and lay at his feet. Pecan taking damage from somewhere else entirely. And out comes a grenade, but Nello reads into that one correctly. The wall bucked open. Jackie Wu continues his streak from what we saw in the previous round, being as dangerous as ever. Maybe a brief pause, Nick, so we're only halfway through the round and there are 4 players left.
I think it's time that we slow things down though for DW, right? You gotta figure out where are these last 2 remaining defenders, what do we have to work with? We have full top floor control that we care about, Armory Archives. The issue is, it's the Ace above and Buck below. You're gonna kinda, in an ideal world, flip these positions because Ace has a very limited vertical destruction. Thankfully, some has been done for him already. So they can work with this, but the second problem is, it's Harambe on the Ace who has Diffuser. He has to get down the stairs to like progress in this round. Planting in a 2v2, essentially it's a 1v2. It's not gonna be easy. You wanna look for 1 kill, make it a 2v1, then go for the plant.
Oh, Usis outduels Harambe. It leaves Jackie Wu to clutch the round for his team. Doesn't hold the diffuser, so kills will be the name of the game. A shotgun at close range from Nafe. The Storm in the hands of Usis. There goes some intel. Jackie Wu spotted one, but will try to get to him. Can't do it. Nafe has the cross. It happened. That whole first half in the books. No team winning more than a single round in a row. 3-3 the scoreline. Side half swap, but given what we saw out of the first half on Cafe and what we saw out of Direwolves on defense, I think this is a very good position for Direwolves to be in based on the matchup we've seen so far.
No, I fully agree. I think this is a spectacular position for them to be in. And also, in the last 2 rounds, Pecan, like the arguably only member of DW not really being fully present on the scoreboard and with the impact in the rounds, he really stepped up. And it looks like it has just shifted. He's now here, he's playing Capcan, playing those explosive operators once more. Has both the C4 and the Capcan traps themselves. Pog mats all being put into work here. Whenever I hear a player, not every time, but sometimes when I hear a player comes, as we just did with MNM the last 2 rounds, I think a lot of fans, they're always thinking, professional comms, they got it like very clean and crisp. And then you hear a player comes being like, what the, word, I can't see anything. It's like, okay, that's the player comms, Sometimes it's just like your general casual rank stack where it's like, I can't see anything, or I didn't realize this, like my bad, whatever. It's not always a perfect world. Funny things happens in the server sometimes, like in the voice comms, that is. You miscommunicate, etc. Mistakes that are prone to happen at any level of play. So it's always fun and cute to kind of see. I wish, like in a perfect world, that every single team would speak the same language. That way anyone could understand each other. I said yesterday in our other cast that I wish I could listen to LATAM teams, like fully understand what they were saying, because I would be very intrigued to hear how they communicate and operate.
Just learn Portuguese. First kill of the second half goes to Tyrant. Lobs a nade up, and from below, Ray is blown sky high. You talk about gadget persistence, more persistent gadgets. I mean, I suppose you've got some gadgets that can be quite persistent. You ever have to deal with an enemy drone? Anyway.
Okay.
Those frost mats will still exist. The deployable shield will likely still exist. All things that are available for the defenders are not gone because the frost perished. Logic bomb goes off. Can another be secured? Solitov has been losing a lot of these duels to Pecan as of late, but the second weapon for MNM is still operational. And Uses can refrag his teammate. Half the round gone. Ooh, Harambe just toying with East right now.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Oh.
Just narrowly missing out, and he gets caught. I don't think he knows exactly where he was getting shot from. Noah will secure with a Rotero drone from Flores.
Whee!
That's disrespectful. He almost got out of the way.
I respect Nilo so much for playing it so passively. There's no reason to walk up to the window, take the risk, maybe get traded back. Just use your gadget, play it slow. You got time, right? Nilo, such a stable player from MNM, just always staying alive, doing his job, etc. Right place, right time, doing all the boring, if you will, drone work. Such an important role for any team.
4v2. When it comes to opening picks, MNM led the way. They got 3 opening picks, 4 technically if you consider that one was a trade. Despite that, they weren't able to win all of the rounds. No real objective play either. It was just a full-out brawl in that first half. Speaking of objective play, Nello beginning the defuse process, and Jackie Wu has no shortage of bullets to engage with. Down goes Nello, but Nave has his teammates back. Souffle removed from action. Jackie Wu, last man standing. No, there's a Capcan trap, but it's Nave to take him out. Jackie Wu not long for this earth. Does it count technically because the side swap? But either way, MNM have now won 2 rounds in a row. One coming on attack, and now the second on defense. And MNM have their first lead here on border.
Very surprised to see the plant spot choice for MNM here. I mean, it's extremely risky with no full armory control, and Jackie will punish it quite well. 1 kill into an injury, it kills the third member inside of Beepers as well, but eventually, MNM have too many bodies, even for that all-day LMG. 80 bullets can't stop them. It was very, very close. Captain, of course, did a nice bit of work there as well as Pecan playing it last round. Soufflé this one. As Pecan has changed onto the Mira instead, as we're gonna go downstairs on the floor into the Ventilation's bomb site. Whereas previously we were on the Armory one. It plays out similarly though, because as you see, there are more members above than below trying to hold that top portion of the map. The question is, which walls and hatches get reinforced? So that's what's gonna play out right now. Also, where do the Capcan traps go? Because dying to that early will do a ton of damage to your operator economy.
Operator economy? That's not a thing.
That is a thing. No, yeah, that's how many operators you have, right? Economy. So you have like gadget economy. You have operator.
That's just your line. Oh, that's just your team, man.
You would totally get what I meant out of context. You totally.
I mean, like, yeah, your operator. Like, I get what operator economy means.
Yeah.
I just think it's a clunky term.
It's a clunky term.
But sometimes clunky's good.
Sometimes clunky can be good. What has been happening in the last, or rather has not been happening in the first minute is no one's really going fast on border. On Cafe, we had a couple of rounds that really took a wild spin. For the most part here, the first minute is purely the attackers trying to reach the building without getting spawn peeked. Then the following minute is, you know, a kill or two goes in one way or another, or a trade. And then the last minute, a lot of things really start occurring very quickly. Now the thing for MNM, they've drawn out this office position on the map. They see that it's relatively clear, but Jacko is down below with a ton of verticality, assisting Pecan, the single member upstairs of office. Once you choose one angle or like one side of the map, east or west, you tend to have to stick to it as an attacker. You have time to rotate around constantly left and right.
Slow round in comparison to what we've seen from both of these teams on both Cafe and on Border.
Reloading. Cover me.
MNM want that top floor so desperately. Harambe seems to be the one that's lurking right now. Down below, not in a position to really make any serious noise. Solotov droning himself in, upstairs on balcony. Top floor looks to be relatively secure, at least on the eastern portion of the map. That's up by Office. But you've got to still confront that armory hold that Direwolves have not given off just yet. Ray shot through the soft wall. That's a tough position to be in. We'll lose the Black Mirror. Soufflé's not too far off, but he's also lost some of the area inside of security. MNM closing their hands around this prize. Damage done to Nafe as Ray fires back. As the Doc, he'll be able to give himself a bit more sustain. Down to Nafe. First kill goes to MNM.
But this isn't the bomb site. It's down in ventilation, so this top floor control doesn't matter that much.
Another pick from MNM comes in. Nitro Cell expended by DW. They were mighty good with them on Cafe. Not the case on Border. All this focus from MNM upstairs, but you got to translate it to the bomb site. They seem to be doing it quite well. 2 kills and Jackie Wu will follow. First pick for Direwolves comes out and make it 2. Suddenly, Pecan and Harambe are in and they are doing serious work. But with just a couple seconds left, MNM need to get the diffuser down and actually scratch that. Record scratch. Because they get the kill instead. 3 in a row for MNM. They're storming their way towards ending this matchup.
It's fine. It's I can have control. We didn't have a lot of time left. So if they do that shit again, we should need to be a bit quicker. Yeah.
The problem is I'm droning my whole side and holding flank for the whole round. So I was literally...
That Valk is such a dumb cunt.
Jeremy jumped in for the armory wall.
What'd you say?
Jeremy jumped armory wall.
No, it wasn't that round.
Yeah, you see the check that's been asked, right? Was there meat jam on the armory wall? No, not that round, etc. Just kind of figuring out what the situations are for Direwolves, and also MNM speaking about how slow they were, right? You gotta speed things up for this following round. They're recognizing the problems and speaking about them. So it's a short moment of celebration for a round clutch, essentially, with a stellar performance as a team in the last 30 seconds, but also recognizing that they could do a lot better and that things didn't really go the way they expected in that round.
Nice to hear the comms come out for them.
10 seconds left.
No timeout taken so far as I'm aware.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't believe so, nope.
Not that we have seen and not that we have been informed of.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Direwolves still have an opportunity to settle things down and get their heads in the game, but
Glass?
Glass, Capitown, Nomad, and Nook.
Taylor's window rush? Question mark? That's what this signifies, and Capitown is there. Claymore's being put down. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a window rush, smoke, glass covers. A single C4, if they actually go for this, gonna completely destroy this strategy. Now, there's no Ying. Normally, you would apply Ying here, a Lion as well. Bathroom drone. So Pecan here has a C4 inside a bathroom. He can shut down this entire take with that C4.
Look at the opening that's created upstairs in that armory position. Solotov has been apprehensive. Got a drone up there. I suspect a mute jammer might be the reason why they have not been able to drone it out just yet. The prevalence of frost in these matchups mean that you always need to be looking down, and Solotov is going to come really close! Goodness gracious, the Nitro Cell goes down, but so does the Diffuser. A minute and 10 seconds into this matchup, and MNM have control of the bomb site. But DW are firing back. Down goes Souffle. Nello will join, but on the opposite side of the equation, Tyrant needs to get into position. Now it's Pecan taking some damage. Nafe doesn't have any air jabs left. They'll need to wait to play off of this angle, and it's a long-range shot for Tyrant on the run-out, but it's Nafe to get him. If a jump-out happens, that's where Tyrant is good for. In a 1v2, he hears the Diffuser being worked on. There's Pecan to fall. He sees the body of Jackie Wu. The Oryx can sprint on out, but you only have a second left. The vault out is there, but MNM gets the job done. 4 rounds now for MNM. They're on series point.
I'm actually mentally like that. He's probably not into my window. I'm like, I just didn't shoot back here.
Nah, that meat is so shit, man. I have to be harsh. I have to be.
Oh, man. He goes, the Valkyrie's prone on the floor, and I'm just not shooting back. I mean, we saw the setup there beautifully from MNM. They had the Capita on the glass, where they execute on the window and the repel. They go in deep, they avoid the C4, nicely done. And the one thing they have going for them, which is a big difference maker, is that they actually had Nook on Passport, creating distraction and disturbance, while having the buck of, I believe, Solotov going ventilation window, also winning his 1v1 gunfight against his opponent. So while they were executing on the bomber side, there is still things going on across the map that DW, they have to respect and care about. And that is a big deal, because otherwise, you might just have 5 members of DW sprint back towards the bomb site and shut down that plant. And if the plant does not go down, MNM should lose the round as well. But the post plant is so strong. You can see it from the window, outside the building, Claymores to the jump out, crossfire, etc. And they executed that 2 versus 3 or 2 versus 4 just the way they had to. Now they're staring down match point. And one of the things about getting rushed like Direwolves just did is that now you have to fear for this happening again. You have to be like, okay, we need to extend out the map, roam, hold map control, but we just got rushed. It could happen again. We also got to stay a little bit close to the bomb site to be very quick to react if something were to happen like that previous round.
Update from the mainstream if you haven't been tuning in over on twitch.tv/Rainbow6. The first match between Wolves and Sonics is over.
Okay.
A relatively quick one. However, they did start about 15 minutes before us.
Yeah.
And yet, we're almost finished too. It's not over. I mean, Direwolves definitely could claw it back, but MNM Gaming are putting in the same performance right now against Direwolves they did against Wolves yesterday in the EUL Finals not too long ago. If you want to know who won the Wolves versus Sonics matchup, feel free to go over to the main channel, Google it, go on to r6esports.com. I believe has all the information about the 6th Invitational as well. That's not the start you want for Direwolves. Goodbye, Harambe. First pick goes to MNM. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the round.
It's a quick one. Different change of pace here. Nafe on Gridlock without the smoke grenades. Bit of an odd one out. We don't really see this Arbitrator being played, and especially not without the smokes in pocket. But either way, it doesn't look like they're gonna go for a rush execute this time. Just a fast entry, get that advantage, and then get out and play the numbers.
There's some predictive frost mats put down by Ray in areas that hoping you'll catch one of the MNM players off guard, one of which was at the top of main stairs. The teams will trade out now, but still the advantage holds for MNM. Raid taking some damage, but so is Ubisoft, and so is Solotov. The carries for MNM. Solotov missing an opportunity to remove Pecan from the fray. Now it's Tyrant taking some damage.
What?
He re-peeks, but then doesn't. A bit of a confusing one. Solotov knows that he's got him in the corner. Reposition, maybe.
You want the bomb site, right? You know there's 2 members now in security and break room. Only 1 member on the bomb site. Could be a fast one for MNM, or just take your time. You got 1minute and 10 to work with.
Oh, he doesn't understand Souffle's position at all.
That's clear.
Very brazen over towards office, but guess what? Nello's found the opportunity, but a bit too excitable. Souffle with a 4K keeps his team alive. That's the stuff.
Nello unfortunately caught sprinting when he had no business doing so. The bomb site was completely clear, and MNM with communication could have basically figured that out because, you know, Frost is in security, challenging Solotov. Valkyrie close, so that's 2 members. Solotov then dies east stairs to a mirror. There's only 3 members out of defense. That means all 3 locations are known. Bomb site entirely given up by the defending team of Direwolves. MNM, they don't get to capitalize, and Souffle, he punishes. Great effect.
There's a bit too much haste there from MNM. You still have to respect your opponents, right? Like, at the end of the day...
Located by attackers.
Absolutely. Always. Always. Solotov gonna go from Ash to Nuke. Get more grenades in your pocket. More destruction. Or, if you really wanted to, you get secondary EMPs, now her or the Dokkaebi. Pecan gonna go onto the Solis. We have not seen Solis played much on border so far, having 2 or 3 rounds max now combined. Whereas Oryx and Doth, they're seeing more and more play as time is progressing here.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Really impressed by Souffle, but also...
Reloading.
As much as you can be impressed by one person, I think you also have to cast a little bit of blame on MNM. They didn't drone that portion of the map. They didn't play off each other for that portion of the map. They just tried to storm right in. That's exactly what MNM did against DW at the start of Cafe, and how did that work? Didn't.
It did not. Seems like a similar approach. Solotov, he owns this area of the map, just holding on. Tyrant on the roof, droning out archives on top floor. Trying to see what the openings might be. MNM not really the ones to force anything the last round and a half. They're just kind of waiting for something to be happening. Maybe expecting some aggression here from DW, which it is lurking. And might just be approaching. Wallbang almost goes out onto Solotov, but it gets away. Alive. The gadget here, we can see the Claymore is being put down. The run out is going to be denied, or at least known about now.
I still think he goes for it.
I think he goes for it too.
I still think he goes for it, and there we have it. Oh, he gets one, but cannot connect for more than that. This is what we like to see. These cheesy plays that can come in that are enabled by a Solus being on the board. Solotov is gone. It's timeout for Direwolves, seemingly working. They won that round. They surrendered the first pick right after their timeout. Oh. Nello was just in, by the way. MNM picking up 2 very quick kills, and now it's Nave with Diffuser in hand, getting it down. Ubisoft will need to cover. Souffle killed from above. The coverage from Ubisoft seemingly good enough, but now Nave needs to get out of there. Does he have the time to do so? Apprehensive. He's unsure of where best to go. Still 2 players up from DW. Jackie Wu at 13 kills, sitting on the Diffuser right now. And Nave hears it. Logic bombs go off, and Nave should hear 2 separate players. Uses has them lined up. It's Pecan to try and save the match, but he can't do it. No salvaging there whatsoever. MNM, their first 2 days, they don't drop a single map.
It's clean. Do 2 2-0s essentially for them. And I will say Direwolves, despite that really wonky Cafe attacks, looked a lot good, looked very good in their defense rather, and throughout all of border. Not a team to be slept on at all. Things to work through, unfortunate roster situation as well, making the most of it of course, and showing up against MNM is something you can be proud of.
Hugs all around for MNM. Direwolves had some signs of brilliance, especially on Cafe, and then they started strong on Border as well, but ultimately just couldn't play catch up to the more experienced team. The fact that Direwolves are attending this event with 2 players who got added in last minute under circumstances that might not have been their choice is incredible, frankly. I think it's very impressive. And while this is a tough group, Group B obviously very much up in the air still, depending, of course, on what happened in the other matchup, which we're not going to spoil the results of. Direwolves still have a couple days to try to make whatever recovery is possible. APAC has surprised us before against some of the best teams